Okay. We will share screen. So we're gonna do lab 3. And I will use the PC just like you, so that way I would show you the same thing that what you see. Okay. So the lab 3 document, you can find that on our lab page in Canvas, and there's also a pre-recorded video from last year. Didn't change much. Can you do this on your Windows 10 system at home or Windows 11? You can. Just make sure you put everything back that you configure. Otherwise, you're going to run into network connectivity issue. The reason why we're using the virtual machine is because you don't have the privilege to configure the Windows 10 system that you're sitting at, right, for the right reasons, of course. So what you're going to do is you're going to plug in your drive. You can use the white or the black cable. Then after you plug in the drive, it might show the little pop-up here. Don't worry about it. You're going to open up your File Explorer, or you can click on, actually they removed the desktop icon. So open up your File Explorer, right? And then you are going to go down to the drive. It will show you the Toshiba drive. But I'm going to click on my drive here. So you're going to click on the Toshiba drive. And you are going to see CIS40A VMs folder, right? Don't copy the whole folder because that's going to take you like 10 minutes. You're going to open that up. And you're going to see the Windows 10 folder. You can use the clone or that one. I recommend using the CIS40A Windows 10. So again, open up your drive, find CIS40A VMs folder, double click it, and then go in and find CIS40A Windows 10. You can go ahead and drag that onto your desktop. So just hold down your left click and then pull it to your desktop. Or you can right click, copy, and paste it to your desktop. I have done that here. So just drag it to your desktop and it will take like 4 minutes to do it. Okay. Once you're done, you're going to open up that folder and you're going to double click the subfolder. Okay. You're going to see 2 files. One is the blue icon file and the second is the orange icon file. Always play your virtual machine with the blue icon file for VirtualBox. The VBox file is what you need to use for your virtual machine. Don't click the orange file because that's just simply the drive for your virtual machine. Okay. So again, plug in your drive, open up your File Explorer, open up your drive. So click on your drive, find CIS40A VMs folder, drag the Windows 10 VM onto your desktop. So you have your virtual machine there. So we're going to run the virtual machine on the desktop, not from the drive. Only because if your virtual machine gets corrupted somehow on the drive, then no other people can use it. Okay. So once you have it dragged onto your desktop, right? So if you follow the lab instruction, it walks you through on how to, so it will be drive D or drive E, how to be able to copy your virtual machine. Now, there are 2 ways to open it. You can double click the blue icon and it automatically load it to your VirtualBox. Or you can open up the app first. So I normally search VirtualBox and open up the app. And I would be able to add it, right? Now, if I do it the other way, not as the lab, I can also double click this and it automatically loaded to the playlist. So this is what you have with the software playlist. So if you double click the blue icon, it's going to also load it to the playlist. So the lab instruction is to open up the app, right? And then you're going to add the machine. So click add, go to your desktop, open up your Windows 10 VM. open up a subfolder and find the VBox file or the blue icon file and click open. And it's going to load that in here, right? Hold on one second. So you cannot load the same VM that has the same name into the same playlist. So you can do either or. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to double click my blue icon file and then I'm going to click start. So you can do it that way. Just once you copy it to your desktop, double click the blue icon file and it's going to load it to your play box and your playlist on your VirtualBox, and then it's going to load. Okay, so just copy it to your desktop, the Windows 10 VM folder from CIS40A VM folder, as it's instructed on your lab. Okay, so again, plug in your drive, find your drive, okay, find the CIS40A VM folder, open it up, drag the Windows 10 VM to the desktop. You can use the clone one too, same. So drag it to your desktop and then open it up. So go to the, open it up and open up its subfolder, and then you can double click the blue icon file, which is the same as loading it to the app. So once you double click the blue icon file, it's going to load your VM. It's going to give you this fatal problem. It's okay. Close the box. Okay. And it tells you that there's mouse integration and auto capture integration. So if you need to access your virtual machine, just click in it, right? And then click out when you don't. So it's going to capture. Okay. So you can close this message box if you want. Now I'm going to click on my desktop, and the password that you're going to use is given here on step 7. So we are going to open that up. So go back to your VM. I'm going to try to load this so that way you can see it. Okay, so all cap locks, type in the password with an exclamation point, and it's going to load your desktop. Okay. Now, a lot of students, the first time they use it, they always mix up the host machine and the virtual machine. Make sure that all your lab steps is done in the virtual machine once you got part A completed. Okay. Don't click on the outside because then you're going to run into problems later. Okay, so once we access the desktop, anybody have a hard time loading VM? Okay, so I hope you do it with me. So in case you run into a problem, I can help you. Okay. There are multiple ways to run the computer management console, right? The simplest way and the quickest way is to click the Windows Start button of the virtual machine, not the host machine. So inside this window, you're going to pull this up and you're going to right click the Windows button of that virtual machine inside the window. Right click, and then you're going to choose computer management. Okay. So make sure we do the step inside the virtual machine. So for step B and onward, we're going to do it inside your VM. Okay. So load your VM. We're going to right click the Windows button of our VM and go to computer management. So this console is a way that we can manage our system, right? And what we're going to do is we are going to go to device manager. So this is one way that you can access your device manager. You saw earlier that I can search for device manager inside my virtual machine as well, right? So I'm going to go to computer management console. The good thing about this is it has additional things here you can use, right? So you click on device manager in computer management console, which is the next step. And it's going to tell you on the right pane, you're going to click on network adapter. So when you see an arrow, that means that you can always expand it. So you're going to click on the right arrow and it's going to expand it, right? So I right click my Windows button in my virtual machine, choose management console, computer management console, and then I click on device manager. You can get it the other way, that's fine. Click on the network adapter on the right pane to expand it, right? That's step 10. And then you're gonna go down, and what you're gonna do is you are going to right click the adapter. So the only adapter you see is going to be your Pro 1000, right? You're gonna go ahead and right click it, and you're gonna go to properties. So on here, what you're going to do is you are going to see some information that tells you that the device is working properly. So it teaches you on how you can look at the details, right? And then what you're going to do is you are going to go through the property sheet to answer the question. So I would recommend going to events, and it should give you the answer for A. So when you click on the events tab, you would see that the device was installed when, right? It was installed, and it gives you the time here, okay? You don't have to put the exact time. You can also put the date. If you want to put the exact time, that's fine. So click on the events tab to answer 12A and 12B, okay? So again, right, I went to computer management console, click on device manager. On the right hand side, I click network adapter, which gives me the detailed list. I'm going to right click the first option, which is the adapter itself, and choose property, and then click events tab. Then I would be able to answer 12A and B. Then you are going to click on the driver tab. This tab allows you to, 1, update driver if you don't want to right click, 2, read the driver detail. So before we update, we might want to check out what kind of driver it has, when it was installed. So it tells you the driver version, right? The digital signer is Microsoft Windows. Remember what I said, right? Sometimes your OS is going to default to your Microsoft-based driver. So your default driver from Microsoft, and because it's a virtual machine, it does that too, right? And then the driver date, that was when it was initiated or installed. Actually, yeah. No, not installed, created. Okay. So you're saying, why is it 2010 when the physical device is installed in 2023? Well, the way that the driver tab works is it actually has this driver date was created, right? In 2010. So technically, events tab tells you that the device is installed physically and started in 2023. So the device driver is actually when it was physically installed and configured. Okay. So you can see that also on the events tab, but on the driver tab, this is when the device was either downloaded or included with the OS. Okay. So once I have that, right, I'm going to click on Advanced tab, and I'm going to set Wake on LAN. So this option allows you to, 1, wake all the system up once it is connected and on, right? So we can turn everything on through the network, and we can set jumbo frame, right, through the Advanced tab. So in your virtual machine, if you click Advanced tab, here you would see, remember we talked about jumbo frame or jumbo packet, right? You would see that option here, right? You can also see other things, other configurations. So flow control, we talked about that. So this is a way that we can configure this system to have the options. And if you select on a certain option, it would give you the value on the right side, and that's how you can change it. Okay. So on the 14, you would be able to click on Advanced tab, right? And then what you're going to do is you are going to look at the adapter. Wait, let me see. It said you should see a list of property including transceiver. So go down and let me see if it shows it. So I just need you to screenshot it actually. So this is where you can change. Now on here, you don't see that there is, it might not show like transceiver, but it does show other options that you can change, right? But once you install the system that would, your device that would have transceiver and install the driver, we would be able to also configure it through it, right? So we can also change buffer and all of those. So to screenshot, right, what we're going to do is we saw this during the first week, we can use snip tool, open up your snip app, click new, and then just drag it from corner to corner, right? And then you can click copy, which is your button right here, or press Control C and then paste it to your lab like this. All right, once we do that, close the property. So don't close the actual virtual machine, close the smaller X, the second X here. Close the property sheet. And then it's going to tell you to go open up settings. So we're going to go ahead and close the computer management console, the second X, not the big X at the top. And to open up settings, we simply can just search for it. Okay. So I have to scroll down on the right. We can right click Windows button and choose settings, or you can search for settings and open up the app. Okay, so in settings, what you're going to do is you are going to click on network and internet, and then we're going to find the Ethernet. So right here in settings, we're going to click network and internet. Okay, and then click Ethernet on the left. Now, every Windows version is slightly different. So for 10, 11, it's this way. But if you use 7, it's going to be a little different. Okay. All right. So once you click on Ethernet on the right-hand side, you should be able to see the Ethernet adapter. And we want to be able to read the detail. So I click Ethernet on the left, right? And what I want to do is see how it shows me unidentified network here, no internet. You can also go in and look at your adapter options by clicking this, which is what we're going to click. Click on change adapter options. I need to change that step. So when you get to this step, right, click on Ethernet. And you need to find the Ethernet adapter. In the earlier version of Windows, you would see that it might show up over here. So click on change adapter options. And then you're going to see the Ethernet. We're going to right click it and go to properties. So I'll type that here. Okay. So once in setting, click network and internet, click on Ethernet, change adapter option. And we're going to right click the Ethernet and go to properties. So once you see Ethernet, you're going to right click it and go to properties. Then it's going to give you, I think I might have, okay. We're going to go down to, let me see, properties. Oh, maybe I'm leading you down the wrong path. Sorry. Yeah, I meant for you to click that. So it shows up as unidentified internet. We're going to do another lab that we're going to change IP through that way. So again, sorry, I apologize. Let's do that again. Go to settings. Okay. In here, click on internet and network, Ethernet, and on the right side, click on the under Ethernet, it should say unidentified network. Just click that. And here, basically, it gives you the connection, the details, right? So what's the MAC address? Scroll down and you should see that right here. Unfortunately, you can't copy and paste it. You just have to type it. Okay, or screenshot it. Okay, so take a screenshot. So once you click Ethernet on the left, we are going to click unidentified network on the right. And you would see the details. And this is like for, depending on Windows 10 and 11 and 10.x, right? They had changed this up a little bit on how you navigate to it. But if you scroll down, it's going to give you the property sheet and it's going to give you the MAC address. This is the same thing as looking at IP config space/all. So it's going to give you the detail for your adapter. So what you're going to do is you are going to take a screenshot and then you're going to use a lookup tool. So control and click the link. And then you're going to type in the MAC address that you see there. So my MAC address is located right here. So 080027, so you type that in and you search to see if it finds the vendor, the creator of that adapter. Okay. And then answer the question. Can you locate it? Is there information after you type in the MAC address? If so, who made it? Okay. Then we're going to do the last few steps, and that's going to take us to the end of the session. What we're going to do is we're going to also use PowerShell. So PowerShell is built in all the current version of Windows, including Windows 10. All you have to do is call on it. So once you're done recording your MAC address and searching for it, then you can close the property sheet. Then what we're going to do is we are going to open up PowerShell by typing in PowerShell. So if you are going to be working in IT and also cybersecurity, I recommend that you learn PowerShell, right? It's different than command prompt. There's some commands that share the same, but it's different. Open up your PowerShell. Let me change my font. So you can see. PowerShell is particular to how you type, spacing, character, all of those things. So hyphen is hyphen, upper lowercase. It's not forgiving like some of the other command lines. So make sure if there's red error, check your typing, period. Okay. And we can't copy paste. So we're going to try to type. So we're going to do get net adapter. This is how you can obtain information about your adapter. So I'm going to try to put it this way so I can show you the command at the same time. Okay, so we're going to do my G key is not working. Okay, get dash, right, net adapter and press enter. And what you see there is just like how you access it earlier, right, with device manager, you see that that's the adapter that you use. And it also tells you the status. Is it up or down? So if it's off, it's going to be down, right? And the MAC address that you see. So it's just like how you look at the property sheet just now, okay? So this is another way that you can find information about your system. So take a screenshot. Which adapter has the highest throughput? I only have one, so just put down the Intel Pro 1000, right? And then go back to the PowerShell, and what we're gonna do is we are going to type in the entire command with the pipe. And to locate the pipe, you can see that above the enter key, so you have to press shift and that slash right above the enter key. So we're gonna type that. So you're gonna type the step 24 IP config space /all, and this is what you see that it's shared with command prompt space pipe. So shift and the / or the backward slash, and then find str, right? And quotation mark description physical. Close quotation mark, and then press enter. So this is one way that we can find the MAC address by itself in PowerShell by running ipconfig space /all, and we're gonna go and find, right? You do a find str. Basically, you're gonna do a keyword search in the IP configuration information for description physical, which is your description physical of a MAC address, and that's how you find a MAC address in PowerShell. Okay? And then so put down the, so it says, what is the description of the Ethernet adapter or the wireless adapter? You can actually, this should be rephrased. Sorry. I think that they have changed this. So you can just put MAC address information for that one. And then what you're going to do is you're going to use the other command, which is WMIC NIC, where physical adapter equal true. Then we're going to do get the whole thing, right? MAC address, comma, name. No space there. Let's see if this works on this one. Okay. It tells me invalid query. Let me see. NIC where physical adapter. Yeah. Thank you. I didn't get a red error, which is, it's only showing. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. So this allows us to also get the MAC address, but also the name of our adapter, right? So this is another way that you can also obtain information in PowerShell. Take a screenshot. How is it different than the last one? Well, if you do this, I also had an error on this last one. If you up arrow key, you can repeat the step. That's why it didn't give me. Okay, there's the description. And then if you rerun this one, what's the difference? Well, they both give you the same information, the same, right? So MAC address in the description, which is the name of my adapter, MAC address and the name of the adapter. It's just displayed differently. One is horizontal, the other one is like vertical. So my point is that you can find your adapter information, the same information multiple times. So if you have a typo, it shows red, just retype. And for step 25, make sure we do a complete command exactly as shown. Okay. How is it different than the last? It should be step 8 or 9, maybe step 24. Or maybe if you go back to 8 or 9, It's not truly different than what you see in your computer management console or your device manager or your detailed property sheets, right? It's the same adapter, but in PowerShell, if you do it as specified, basically it gives you the adapter name and the MAC address. That's it. Okay. And then what we'll do is you can answer which step do you like the most. Last thing that we're going to do, I know we're ending the class now. We're going to go to control panel, network status, and we're going to look at the connection. Okay. So close PowerShell. To open control panel, we simply type control panel and open up the app. Then you're going to click on network and internet as it's instructed. And then what you're going to do is you are going to click on networks, view network status, and then look at the task. Let's see. Right here, view network status and tasks. It's the small link underneath the first option. The small link here, click it. And then you should be able to see the Ethernet option there. So for our lab, it tells you to go ahead and click on the adapter, right? And then click the details. So what we'll do is when you see this right here, click the Ethernet and then click details. And it's going to bring you to where you saw what you saw in setting before. Okay. So again, open up control panel. And the way we did that was to search. Open that up. And then we're going to click on network and internet. Click on view network status and tasks. This little link, the blue link underneath the big green name at the top. And then click on the Ethernet adapter that we have. And then click details. And you should be able to see the IP, the MAC, yeah, and all of the things that's important to that adapter. So take a screenshot. So now you know another way to access it. Okay. When you're done, please be nice to your virtual machine, close everything and shut it down like how you shut down your computer. Click the Windows button, power, shut down. Okay? Any questions? Yep. It doesn't need to be connected to the internet. It should be, yeah. The reason why you can't access the internet is because your browser is out of date on it. Right? But by default, if you look at your network settings, it should be on network address translation. It is. It's just all you have to do is update Edge or install Edge on it and it worked. Yeah, the Edge on here is dated, so it won't load any kind of. So if you go to network, right, it should be on network attached translation, which it uses your host to convert that to the private IP address within RCCD network. Oh, it's because it needs updates. Yeah. But you don't need, yeah, you don't, so we need to update the settings and change all of those things, but later on you will have them in that, we will have things. We're gonna make our own network on. So that's not. Oh, I'm going to. Yeah, well, technically your lab is outside, but I try to get you guys to finish, so if you can finish it today before the next class comes, that's ideal. But if you want to come and do it another time, do it in my office hours or before class next week.
That way we don't have to worry about the external hard drive.
Right. Yeah, you will, yeah, so once you're done, please return the drives, right? But, you know, so go through it if you need help. The other class, they start about 5:30, so we probably should have like about 15-20 minutes more. And again, once we're done, just shut down your VM. And then I'm going to stop recording after this. So I'll help you in case you have questions. And if it says it's trying to update, right, don't worry about it. Let it finish. And then when you're done, close your VirtualBox app, detach your drive, and then make sure you remove your other drive. And then you're in. That's it. So let me leave on this one, and then I will try to update some small instructions